So between city and country, it's really interesting because if you think about it, the regional price stays fairly average. And so you've got a relatively straight line. It'll jump up as wholesale prices are increasing. It'll come down as wholesale prices are going down, but it's a smooth line. Whereas what we see in capital cities is they might swing between 30 and 35 cents over a 40 or 35-day period. Within that context then, if you compare the capital city price at the top of the cycle, where it's high, with the regional prices, then the capital city looks really expensive. But if you compare it at the bottom of the cycle, then the region looks really expensive. And it's interesting when you actually have a look at that game in terms of the comments we deal with media. You often get criticism of the capital city media when the price cycle is higher, it's higher than regional areas and people don't understand. And then you get regional media that's actually challenging you when the capital city prices are lower than the regions. But the reality here is most capital cities are quite volatile, whereas regional areas tend to be fairly even in terms of their pricing. Traditionally, we've always had people say that the reason that regional prices are more expensive is because I have a long supply chain. I've got a distribution cost and I've got to freight that fuel in. It's true to a certain extent, but it's usually fractions of a cent. It's not a huge impost. In some cases, it might be up to a cent. The principal reason that regional locations tend to be a little higher is largely because they're dealing with less volume. The costs of operating a service station, notwithstanding some differences in rent, my wages are the same, my electricity is pretty much the same, my on costs are pretty much the same, my waste costs are pretty much the same, but I'm amortising with a lower fuel volume typically. So a capital city average, 3.5 to 4 million litres a year, a regional average, 2.5, 2.7. So when you're amortising that fuel across similar costs, then you're going to get a higher unit cost in those regional areas. And that's principally why we get variance between regional service stations and metro service stations.